Okay, yes. I hope that works out for you then. Thanks a lot for calling. Oh, hey, how are you? I'm glad you came by. This is the office of Your Comfort Services. I'm the owner and president, Glenn Walton, Master Tech, and just got a few tips for those of you who find yourself with no heat or no air conditioning. Some little things to check before you call. Well, one of the first and primary things that we find a lot of times is that there's no power applied to the system. If it's a gas or oil furnace, you may notice there's a switch at the top of your steps or somewhere. It may have a red plate, it may not. But if that switch is turned off inadvertently, that will cause a no heat situation. And just merely turning that switch back on, your heat is restored. That's an expensive service call. If you have a heat pump, you may have a breaker that's tripped off in a storm, or an air conditioning unit in the warmer weather. It may be tripped off because of a storm, and it may be absolutely normal, and there are several reasons why a breaker does trip with a heat pump or air conditioning unit. At that point, if you reset it and it trips right away, you need to give us a call. One of the most expensive little items that cost probably the biggest repairs is a little $2 to $5 air filter. If that gets clogged up and you don't have airflow through whatever system you have, it can cost a lot of money in damage. Compressors and heat pumps and air conditioning units, it can crack heat exchangers and gas furnaces. You need to check the air filter monthly, whether you think you should or not. It's not a bad thing to do. It takes 5-10 minutes. Very inexpensive part to change, but it causes a lot of damage. And your thermostat, that's something to keep track of. Keep it clean. Don't let it get all clogged up with dust and dirt. It doesn't sense the temperature properly. And a lot of times we'll have someone who calls and doesn't have heat, and it turns out the thermostat isn't set for the heat to come on, or vice versa for air conditioning. So you need to make sure the thermostat is set for what it's supposed to be set for. And one of the last things I want to mention is primarily with oil furnaces. We get a lot of calls, and all it is the customer has absolutely run out of oil. And there's nothing we can do at that point. If you run out of oil, you need to call your oil company. So if you have no heat and you have an oil furnace, check that emergency switch, check your oil tank, check your air filter. If everything looks right, give us a call. We'll be glad to come. Hey, thanks for visiting.